Betrayal!
What?
Betrayal! Betrayed me! This game sucks!
Oh, Voltage. What? Hello everybody, I'm Ren Salamander. Screw doing a full intro, we know exactly why we're here today. I'm here to rant about the Witch Queen, and you're here to listen. So, Witchy, hey, how you doing? You dead yet? Well, spoiler alert, no! She's not! She's not dead yet! You know, making my last video about this, I knew she'd live past season 7. She didn't die in August's route. Why would she die in any other? Firstly, I want to address two things I said in the first video about this, just to address why they no longer hold as much weight. So first of all, we're going to be looking at what I said here. The first problem I would like to talk about is, what does she even do? Anyone who has played any of the routes in the Soto may ask yourself, what of consequence has the Witch Queen truly done? Alright, so this simply doesn't hold up as well anymore. Yes, the Witch Queen's formula has not changed, and it's still to show up at the end of a season for a cliffhanger, get injured, and then leave, but at this point she has done things that have had actual consequences. The best example I can think of was killing the king. Yes, she did this in multiple routes, but this had the most impact on Raynor's, pressuring him to take the crown in his stead, which actually changes the dynamic a bit. Yes, Raynor ruled the human domain prior, but now he rules a whole kingdom, and then he's a queen now. That is a change of pace that I find interesting. I'm unsure if that'll actually result in story changes, or just having them, bearing different titles, but if it works right, they count as the Witch Queen greatly impacting the story, so that'd be cool. Also, in Usel's route cliffhanger, not literal this time, the Witch Queen took the life force from the animals in the forest and Queen Ashara. I swear if she dies, I will riot. But also the Fountain of Life. I think that's what they called it. While this hasn't had impact yet, it still definitely could, so I felt I should mention it. Also in Ceres's route, the Witch Queen broke their soul bond, which has had some immediate consequences, but will probably also continue to have consequences for a little while until it gets restored, so pretty excited to see where that goes. Overall, the Witch Queen has now done a few things of consequence, but of course, still much less than I'd personally like, and definitely not enough to make up for the first 6 seasons of her hardly doing anything, and therefore still applies to them. Now, for the statement. Another problem is that the writers didn't follow the show don't tell rule. Through every route, characters will constantly bring up how dangerous the Witch Queen is, reiterating how many lives she took in the last war. Okay, how about instead of telling me how powerful and scary she is, why don't you show her doing something evil and horrific so that I can go, oh hey, she really is powerful. This one ties into the last one, but I have less to say here. But the statement also doesn't hold up. Yes, they still harp on about her being dangerous, but it's much more about what she's doing in the new war, not the prior one, making it seem a bit more actually threatening. Not to mention she actually is doing more to earn being considered a scary villain, so at 7 seasons in, this no longer holds up as well. But again, it still applies to season 6 and before. Alright, with that out of the way, I still don't like it. I still don't like the Witch Queen plot. It's just not that interesting anymore. The story is just dragging on, with only a glimmer of end in sight. I get it. The story was supposed to be based around the Witch Queen, and that definitely could have worked if it was better paced. I consider the first 3 seasons to mostly be exposition seasons, where the MC and the player are learning about the world, and getting a taste of what the Witch Queen is like. This could have, and should have been, condensed into a single season. So much of the early seasons revolve around hardly anything really happening or moving forward, which is why I'm so tired of it now that stuff is actually happening. It took too long. Only at the end of season 7 are we getting any indication that it is finally coming down to the wire and that the face-off with the Witch Queen, the one that will end her, is coming soon. If Raynor's final episode of season 7 is anything to go by, it seems like we're gonna be done with this entire arc soon. But it still took so long to get here. It took so long to get here. Let me say this, even though I'm sure I've said it before, I like the Witch Queen in concept and character, but as a villain to this story, she's poorly implemented. I think she could have been the best Lovestruck villain to date, but she doesn't hit hard like she should, because of the pacing. It's all about pacing. To be clear, this is just my opinion. I've seen a few people who still like the Witch Queen story, but I don't. In the 5 main routes at least. I still like how she's being used in Helena and Elaine's routes, even though those 2 routes haven't updated for like 2 whole main 5 rotations. I feel like the majority of people I talk to, regardless of if they like the Witch Queen or not, most of them agreed that her arc has run its course and should be done soon. And it appears that it will probably end next season, so I am pretty excited for that, and I will make a final video talking about it if it does end next season. So, yeah, that's my final thoughts. But regardless if you like the Witch Queen or not and you want her to live a million more seasons, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching as always. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't think this is how genetics work.